Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday night WA event. I'm really excited to be starting off 2019. Welcome to anyone who's been invited along, or if you're watching the video, then we hope that you enjoy what we have to share with you tonight. This is all nice and casual. We want to really just share a few things that we're excited about. When it comes to both looking after our health as well as looking after our finances and our wealth and creating a little bit of a different future for ourselves. I know that what we do now in business and in life and in work is very different to what we were taught or what our parents perhaps did, or so things are different now. So I really want to be able to share this with you and just share some of this excitement. So I'm going to hop out of the way for a second and just pass it over to Ange. She's going to share about our beautiful products. Thanks, Ange.
Hi guys, I'm so excited to be on here tonight. Welcome everyone that is on here, and I guess taking steps to either improve your health or potentially your wealth. So stoked that you're on. I guess for me, I love this program that we have. I love the product. So I guess to start with our program, I think if you look around us, if you look at where we're at with our health, globally, as a society, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. We're getting sicker, we're getting fatter, we're getting more anxiety, more depression. And the scary and most terrifying thing about this is it's getting younger. It's becoming in kids and things that are starting to get these chronic diseases. And, all of these, most of these can be prevented through lifestyle transformation. And, it really just makes sense to, instead of looking at the next fad diet or looking at the next thing that might fix it, is just to go back to the simplicity of going back to a real whole food way of eating. And, that's what our program does. And I'm so proud to align myself with it. It's called the Juicy Body Transformation, and its mission basically is transforming health around the world, and part of it is so passionate and about family health as well, and really trying to introduce these principles and things into the children too. And so it's just basic. There's no calorie counting, there's no deprivation. It's all really just going back to this idea of a whole food way of eating. It looks at just trying to count vitality, and it brings all these principles in. We've got so many beautiful whole food recipes. They're designed by our master chef finalists, so they're incredible. They're really family friendly. We've got exercise guides, we've got meal planning, we've got pantry guides. There's also mindset tools, which is so important, because we know for so many, it's not necessarily about for some it's the food we eat as well, but for so much it's the way that we're eating the food. And it's really looking at these habits and things like that, and that kind of contribute to that. So, there's mindset to look at that kind of thing. And one of the other things that I absolutely love about it is there's this amazing supportive group of community. Those days that you're having a real rough day and you're really stuffed up, then you just jump in there and be like, hey guys, and you'll get so much support and encouragement to carry on, which, accountability is so huge. And also, I guess you've got your health coach that introduced you to this, is kind of there and backing you up and supporting you with any questions that you have. And so along with our program, we also have our amazing nutritional support. Now, I love this nutritional support. You can do the best that you can. I personally come from a background of health. I worked in the hospital system and still do. So I've seen firsthand the state of our health. So I know what I'm supposed to do. And most of the time I'm pretty good. But I also know that you get these days, especially as a mum, that you get busy and you don't get everything in that you need to. We all know that we need a lot of fruit and veggies to really thrive. And that we've got the minimum of 5 and 2 that we're supposed to get. And I say the minimum because that's the government guidelines that suggest what we should get in. Really, that just keeps our cells ticking over and keeps us going. It doesn't necessarily set us up to thrive. And so this is why our nutritional support really makes sense to us. So the product that we use is Juice Plus. And I learned something else just today, actually. I'll go into that in a sec. But anyway, this nutritional support that we use. So we've got the berries, fruit and veg. And so basically we've got about 30 fruit and veggies contained in these capsules. And it's not well, for me, definitely anyway, it's not a replacement for fruit and veggies, but for me, it's just that insurance policy that I am getting everything that I need to get in to really thrive. And so, you know, you could sit there and you could take a multivitamin, you could get, you know, them from the pharmacy and stuff, but I just want to ask you, like, what is in them and are they safe to take in the long term? And the other thing that I just learned today is apparently when you take synthetic molecules, they're not designed for the body to assimilate properly, and so sometimes they can actually do more harm than good. And the ones that can do good, you know, they potentially are only kind of at about 50% capacity of a whole food source, because it's not designed properly for the body to uptake it. So, you know, that's another really good argument to try and get your extra vitamins and minerals and stuff like that from a whole food form, which is what these are. Completely went off track then. So that's one of our products. I love it, and like I say, it's just such a convenient way, you know, affordable way to get all this nutrition in that we really need and are really lacking. You know, we can get all the fruit and veg from our supermarket shelves and things like that, but I think the other thing that you've got to ask yourself about that produce is, you know, where's it been grown, how's it been stored, what contaminants has it got in it, and is it actually giving you the nutrition that you actually need to thrive. You know, the Juice Plus, it just goes through a ridiculous process to make sure, I think it's like 4 different testing to make sure that there's no herbicides, no pesticides, no yeast, no mold, no bacteria, none of this kind of stuff that's precursor to disease. So it's such a clean product. The other products that I absolutely love is our omegas. We can't make omegas, like our body doesn't make omegas. You know, you can source them from fish and you can source them from things like flax seeds and chia seeds and things like that. And also you can take fish oil. For me though, I love these. They're a vegan omega, and the reason I love this so much is you've just got to question the sustainability of fish and the fish oils, and also what toxins are in the fish. And you know, what are these toxins doing to us? So that's why I love this product so much, because it doesn't have any of the toxicity. It goes straight to the algae, and yeah, it's amazing, and we need it. And you know, I just want to ask you things like, you know, do you have that kind of foggy brain, especially anyone that's had kids or anything like that, because they just take all of those omegas that they need and they just leave you with whatever you've got. So you actually need to actively replace that. The other products that we have is just a kids chewable form of the capsules, and you know, these are awesome. Again, when you're having those mum days and all you can manage to feed your kid is cheese on toast, at least they're getting something good into them. They're getting like the fruits and veggies with that. And then our final product is basically it's a superfood protein powder, and it's got so much goodness in it. It's got things like you know, a power blend with pumpkin powder, pomegranate powder, spirulina, yucca powder, mushroom powder, you know, and so it's just got all these amazing bits and pieces in you. And you know, I don't condone necessarily meal replacements, because I believe that you should try and eat as much whole food as you can, but there are those days that, you know, we struggle to do that, and you know, we're running out the door and we're just like, far out, I haven't eaten anything properly this morning. And so it's a great way kind of to sneak those extra nutrients in when you might just grab a coffee or a muffin instead. And so that's all of our amazing products. I mean, me personally, I take these products as an insurance policy. You know, the benefits that you see on the outside are incredible, but it's more what I know they're doing from the research studies on the inside. That is what keeps me going with these. You know, there's been over 35 peer-reviewed articles like showing, you know, they actually take blood and they show blood analysis to show like what these do. And I mean, some of my favorite is that they're bioavailable. So what that means is they actually work, like it's actually showing changes in the blood, you know, at increments after they've been taken. It's showing changes in the cells that promote our immunity, you know, and it's also showing changes in the inflammatory markers, and inflammation is basically a precursor to chronic disease. So, you know, that's a really big reason why I'm so passionate about taking these. The other thing as well with these guys, like since I've started taking them, about 18 months ago now, I've not had a cold or flu or been sick or had antibiotics or needed to go to the doctor or anything. So, you know, I'm pretty stoked about that. It's incredible. You know, my kids are eating more and trying more fruit and veggies. And I guess the other story that I love is that my husband, you know, we went off these for a couple of weeks because my kids got into the supply and destroyed them. And he actually messaged me from work and was like, Ange, when are we getting more product? I'm starting to hurt again. So he didn't realize it before he started the products, but when he kind of went off them, it was just like that recovery. He's also an athlete, you know, and he's doing really well in some races at the moment. And so it really just helps him with that recovery. And he also uses these a lot as well, just to try and recover and just that extra protein boost and stuff after his racing and things like that. So that's my story. I am not sure. I'm so sorry. Can someone jump on and tell me their amazing story as well?
I will.
Jackie, thank you. Go.
Thank you for that awesome explanation, Ange, and thank you guys for having me tonight. I'm so excited to be sharing my story. So I'm just going to dive straight into it. I've been in the fitness industry for 10 years, so I've seen loads of different things. When a friend introduced me to this, I was super skeptical. I was like, fruits, veg, berries in a capsule. Yeah, right, let me read the ingredients. But I was blown away. It literally is a food label. It's not a supplement label. And so I jumped straight in. At the time, I was looking for something to help me get that energy back because I wasn't jumping out of bed like I was used to. And there was a part of me that went, is this what getting old feels like? Is this just the future that I am destined for? And I wasn't willing to give up. So I jumped in. I noticed an energy boost within the first 3 days. But something I'd been struggling with cystic acne, and I did really, really hope that it would help me with that. I noticed within about the first month that started to clear up. And what really solidified my belief in the product was that my friends and my colleagues and people in my classes started to notice my skin, and they asked me what I was doing. So it wasn't just me. People were seeing this change. But there is one thing that I had been struggling with, cholinergic urticaria, which is like an autoimmune skin condition. For about 2 years, I had seen specialists. I'd spent hundreds trying to get rid of this itchy red rash that just would not go away. I couldn't sit still without scratching my ankles and my calves. And the specialist had told me that it's just my body will do a cycle. It will replace its cells every 7 years. Hopefully, when that's all done, it'll just sort itself out. In the meantime, double dose on antihistamines to deal with the itch. And I walked out of there $500 poorer going, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you haven't helped me at all. And double dosing on pharmaceutical drugs just didn't really sit right with me. But I did what I had to do to sleep. And I didn't really think about the connection of Juice Plus helping me with that issue when I started. And it wasn't until 3 days in that I remember sitting on the edge of the bed, and I had my antihistamines on my bedside table because I had to have them to be able to sleep through the night. And I turned to my husband and went, I didn't have these yesterday, and I'm not itchy. Like, I just kind of went, oh my God, this has totally changed. And since then, touch wood, it's been like 2.5 years, and I haven't had an issue. I've been through sweaty hot summers and all of the stuff that should bring on a skin condition like that, and I haven't had any dramas. And that to me just went, if that's the kind of cellular level of nutrition and that's what it's helping my body with, then I can only imagine what else it's helping with. So I'm sold for life. I love this stuff. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jack. We're going to go to Fuchsia now. If you're available to talk, Fuchsia, I'll pin you, and we'll love to hear your story.
Yes. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. Excuse me, I'm with little Oscar hiding out in the playroom because bedtime didn't go to plan tonight with my boys. So I just really wanted to share tonight. I started on the products nearly 2 years ago now. And at the time of starting on the products, I was at home with my first boy. And, you know, I wasn't suffering from any, I was definitely labelled with having postnatal depression. But, you know, I didn't have any really significant things that were a huge issue. I was just flat all of the time. I was tired. I was just not myself. And I didn't really know at the time just how intense that was for me until looking back now. And now looking back, I can see that I was so utterly exhausted and so utterly fatigued that I just couldn't do what needed to be done. I was struggling with organising myself. I was struggling with feeding myself well. I was struggling to get out of bed in the morning. And I was definitely struggling with being the kind of mum that I really wanted to be. I was short. I was emotionally unavailable. And so things were just really pretty bleak. So I was just looking for something, not knowing what it was. And I found a post on Instagram and responded to it, which is just not something that I would normally do. It felt really out of character for me, but I had a good feeling about it. So I connected, I got some more information, and I thought, I've got nothing to lose. I'm just going to give this a go. So I gave it a go, and yeah, I was really amazed with the benefits. I started feeling so much more energized within a matter of 3 days, and within a week I was like a new person. I was getting out of bed in the morning. I was able to go for walks. I was able to do my exercise. I was able to do the food prep, do the organization. I just was kind of just on top of things. I really started to get my spark back. I was connecting with people because I wasn't in such a place that everything felt too hard. I was getting out of the house during the day, and from that place things just got better and better. Once I could exercise and do the food and sleeping better, then everything else just started to fall back into place. And I just haven't looked back. This next pregnancy and this baby have been a really different experience for me. So I'm totally and utterly grateful and know that I will be on the products for life now. So that's my story.
Thank you, Fuchsia. I love that we can do this with our kids in tow. I don't know if you saw mine came in for a kiss goodnight before. Well, just after.
Yeah, right. I didn't.
That, you know, we can do this with our kids. And so, yeah, I love that, you know, you're feeling better and you've got that spark back. That's amazing.
Yep.
We're going to switch gears a little bit now, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the business side of things. Like I said before, we're doing things differently now to what we did, like what our parents did and that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of misconceptions around this sort of business. And I know, like Jackie said, she was super skeptical, and I know I was too. When my friend first shared this with me, I went, oh, what are you doing? And is it okay? And she said, yep, and went through a few things with me. And one thing that she spoke to me about, because I was worried about, you know, this whole concept of a pyramid scheme that I'd heard but never really understood. And pyramid schemes are actually illegal. They have been since the 70s. And I suppose that's something that, again, our parents' generation kind of looks at as being, you know, one of those things and looks down upon. But network marketing now is such a broad and, you know, getting bigger every year community that there's a lot of ways that as women especially, we get to make a lot of choices in our business. We get to choose who we work with, and we get to choose what hours we work, and we do it around our families and with our kids, and we can give ourselves something that, you know, really gives us a little bit of power back into our lives. I know for me that I'm a registered nurse by trade. When you look at the whole structure of it, you know, when I've recently returned to work to keep my registration purposes and things like that. And, you know, I look at the structure of it, and we've got our director of nursing and our CEO. And then from there, we've got our, you know, our nurse unit managers, and we've got our clinical nurse educators. And with that comes responsibility. There's things like rostering and making sure, and I know this new job that I've started, I'm trying to navigate the whole rostering system. I'm sure it's a bloody nightmare for the ladies that are trying to organise it. You know, so that's extra responsibility that they have to do, as well as taking care of patients and things like that. For me as a mum, I don't want to have to take on that extra responsibility and work my way up the nursing ladder. I'm happy to go in and do my job and serve people and help people. But the extra responsibility that comes with it just isn't something that really lit me up. And when I started looking at this, I found something that did light me up as a person. and and that brought so much more joy to my life. But I was worried that I was going to have to hunt down my friends and family, and that I was going to lose friends and things over it. And what's naturally happened is that I fell in love with the product and had some amazing results, like the girls that have shared tonight. And I just naturally wanted to share that. It's like when you watch a great movie. I know, I look at Facebook posts now and then with what's the next amazing series to watch on Netflix, and we're all just recommending something, but we're not getting a commission or a payment from Netflix for recommending the next TV show, right? So, this is great that we get to share and recommend something that we absolutely love. We get to help people to improve their health or improve their family's health, but we also get to earn an income from doing it as well, which is just fantastic. I don't have to be that person that's chasing down other people, and I can genuinely make connections with people and share their health, what goals they have and that sort of thing. So we get to look at it from a product perspective. We also get to look at it from a financial perspective. And I know that there's plenty of mums out there. And I was talking to a mum the other day that says she's really wanting to go back to work, but just isn't sure. And I know my children are now 9 and 6. And I know that now they actually need me more than what they did when they were babies. When I was working and I could put them in daycare for 8 hours and then come home, pick them, go in, pick them up, and feed them dinner and put them to bed, and they were happy. But now there's school drop off and pick up, and then there's also extra activities. So at the moment I'm trying to navigate things like swimming lessons and sports and all that kind of stuff, which the kids need me after school for those sorts of things. So as mums, we want to be able to do all those things for our kids, but we want that flexibility to earn an income at the same time. And this is what I said to my friend, that, look at this kind of structure, that you can have that flexibility and still earn an income and contribute. So I really love that we can share this in a way that is going to genuinely help other families as well, and other mums to do life on their terms, which is really exciting. So something else I was worried about was that I didn't know that many people, and this is kind of just, it happens effortlessly. It's one of those things that you might share, and then it's kind of like a popcorn effect. It goes from one person to the next person and the next person and the next person, and it just gets shared along like that. All these girls on this call tonight, I didn't know until, I've been in the business now for over 3 years, and I've met them all along the way, and I'm so proud to be able to call them all my friends. So, I love that we get to connect and share and just really raise each other up when we need it as well, which is really good. So I'm going to now flick over to Emma, and Emma is going to share a little bit about her business story and how this is fitting into her life.
Hi, thanks Jo, and thanks very much for having me on this evening. So yeah, I'm Emma. I'm in Albany in Western Australia, and I've been in the business now for about 2.5 years. It's not what I thought that I wanted to do. If I'd planned my life, this isn't what would have happened. But sometimes the universe has a better plan. That's all I can say. And I'm so grateful that this did get offered to me and that I did eventually say yes. I didn't say yes straight away. So someone sent me a recording, actually, of an event that was very similar to this one. And at that particular time, I'd just started another business doing massage. My son had just started kindy, and this wasn't what I wanted to do, but I absolutely loved the video because what I could see was a group of women who obviously got on really well together and were enjoying what they were doing, and I wanted to be a part of that group. And I'd done 2 businesses like this before, actually, one of which the company pulled out it was in the UK, and they decided to not be in the UK anymore all of a sudden, which was taught me a bit of a lesson to look into the company that you join to make sure they have longevity. And there was another one where I couldn't really believe in the product and the way that they did business. So I didn't ever do very well in those, but I had seen that this was a business model that worked particularly well for people who were wanted to work from home. And I'm a single mum. And I could see the flexibility and that the business model definitely works. So I thought, after watching that, it's not what I want to do right now, but if I ever wanted to do one of those businesses again, that's the team I want to be in. I could see that there was systems in place. I could see that they were enjoying what they were doing. I could see that they were being successful. And then fast forward 3 months, and my son actually became a kindy dropout. He didn't get on at school. He was just bored by it, and his spirit and his curiosity was just being crushed. And I was, come on, go to school. I'm doing my massage business. But in the end, I decided to just give it a try, and we decided to have 2 weeks of trying homeschooling and seeing how it went. And so then I got back in touch. I'd looked into the product as well. So again, another thing I know that you really need to know about the product. So I went, and you need to believe in the product is what I was going to say. And it needs to be something you can get passionate about. So I went and did lots of research. I've got a biology degree and education background. And so I was looking at all the research, and yes, I can believe in that product. So I decided to give this business a try. And I got straight away, I've seen, some people can do this. You can do it for all sorts of things. You can do it to save money on your product. You can do it to make a little bit of money on the side, or you can actually treat it like a business, and there's a proven business model and a proven structure, and you can take it and make a business out of it. So I started right from the beginning. I decided, okay, this is going to be my plan A. I'm going to treat it like a business. I'm going to go to work like it's a business, and I'm going to make this work. And 2.5 years later, we're still homeschooling. We have traveled quite a bit. We now have such a great life. I can literally work from anywhere. I mostly work. I was laughing about this morning, because there's all these glamorous pictures about people in this industry, and I work in my pajamas. Like by the time I get dressed, I've finished work for the day. Generally, I get up really early in the morning before my son, and I get all my work done, and then I get a shower and get dressed when it's finished. And then in the evenings, I occasionally do work, and I'm not looking glamorous then. My recent fashions that I like is a pair of shorts and Ugg boots. So it's my version of socks and sandals. So you can do it literally from anywhere, wearing whatever you like. No one necessarily knows what you look like. You just have to be professional with the way that you talk to people, and grow yourself, which has been one of the best things for me to challenge myself to grow into a better person, so that my business can grow alongside me. So the business has given me lots of gifts, including the ability to stay home and homeschool my son. We still eat, we travel. I work from anywhere, he learns from anywhere. And I'm incredibly grateful that this opportunity was offered to me, and that I eventually said yes.
Thank you, Emma. I love that you have been able to put so much work into yourself. And in the last 2.5 years since I've known you, it's amazing to see how much you've grown and how much Arthur has grown. I see he's joining us tonight. Hi, Arthur. Just to see how much you guys have really just made such a huge difference in your life, and it's just incredible to watch. So, I'm blessed to have you as a friend, and I think we're doing amazing things. So tonight, girls, I really just want to wrap up with a couple of things. Like Emma said, there's 3 reasons why people come into this. It could be just to get their product cheaper. It could be because they want to pay for the groceries, or it could be because they really want to make this their, plan A, like Emma said, and just make it their stream of income. There's so many different people that are in this community. We have mums, we have single mums, we have women with no kids, we have men, we have couples doing it together, we have Gen Y, we have so many people, older people, such a variety of people that are here that make this community so amazing. Like Emma said, we have proven business systems that really set us up to start strong. If the business model is for you, then I certainly recommend having a look at it. We're a company that's been in Australia now for a long time, over 20 years, and it's a company that's been running now for over 40 years, I believe. So it's definitely stood the test of time. Our products have never been recalled. Like Ange said, it gets tested 4 times for over 300 different known contaminants. I saw Jack add there in the comments. So, you know, there's just so much information, and we love sharing it. We love answering questions. So please, if you are curious about anything that you've heard tonight, then please come back to the person that either sent you the recording or it invited you to watch tonight. Thank you for sticking with us, and have a great rest of the week. We're here every week, so any further questions, come see us again. Thank you.